Namaste Britistorítellies. Welcome to Britistorías, and if you couldn't tell, this is probably like one of the times like for a long time where I actually let my natural hair flow down instead of always putting like in a ponytail or stuff, since like this is how you could tell that I'm gonna be discussing something personal in my life. Like I don't even know where to begin with this since it's such a huge transition. Like you guys don't even know. So if you probably seen the title, like I don't even know how to start this since once again it's such a huge transition of what I'm going to. So for the New Year's, I am 18 years old. Do you guys even know this? Like it's so awkward. I am 18 years old, which means I'm a legal adult. Plus, it's 2024, and we can all identify ourselves to be anything we want. Like some people might even identify themselves as toilet people if they can, since it's 2024. Oh yeah, and also happy late New Year's, you guys. And probably like many other people out there, I grew up with Christianity for my entire life. Like holidays such as Easter and Christmas, I grew up with those. I get this so emotional since like seeing like even seeing like the beautiful dresses I would wear as a kid, not as a teenager or not even as a preteen, no, just as a kid. Just as a kid when I wore those dresses, like I almost got kind of emotional. And it's just like now that I've gotten older, like sometimes I even forgot that Easter even exists, since I don't really have those gift baskets anymore now that I'm older. As well for Christmas, like I still like Christmas. It's just I don't like Christmas today. Like it's kind of hard to explain since like I kind of got like you know that reality where I'm gonna whisper it like if you're not an adult that's gifted this, Santa doesn't exist. Like I like throughout 18 years I still like walk in with from like on like near Christmas I walk into my mom like preparing to study like begging that I bring my presents down, and this is probably why. Oh yeah, I also she forgot to like put the we also forgot to put the cookies out until I remind her, and then poof, like all of a sudden. So that just kind of ruined the magic for me. Like it took 18 years to just ruin the magic of Christmas. But that doesn't mean that I still don't like Christmas like as a whole. Like I still love watching iconic Christmas specials, and yeah, I still love jamming to Christmas songs. Like even one is like still stuck in my head. And like I love the meaning of Christmas when it's outside my house. Speaking of that, yes, I am still working on miracles. Like if you're asking, like yes, like you probably saw the post that I'm working on a Christmas music video called Miracles, and I'm still working on it. Like I'm almost halfway done, and just because I'm converting my religion doesn't mean that I'll just give up on that. Like trust me, once I upload Miracles, then that will just be my official shift into like just that like just having my Miracles music video be the last Christmas video of all time, and just to have just that music video just be like the official farewell to Christianity for me. Oh yeah, along with the fact that yes, I'm gonna be like now it's gonna be more emotional since my first Christmas music video, no, my first Christmas special. I'm stammering so much. My first Christmas special back on my old channel, which is Snow Globe Wonderland, like they're both in the form of music videos, and the last Christmas special of all time, my last Christmas special of all time, which is Miracles, which will hopefully like I'm still working on January. Like once I get done with Miracles, then that will just be my farewell to Christianity and the beliefs. Like I still can't wait to do that comparison video, because outside of comparing both my first and last Christmas specials, like the plot is similar, and I even add some stuff like since I'm almost halfway done, I even compare like the pacing styles and how, like for example, the train scene, spoiler alert, and how Miracles has a much better pacing when it comes to the long conversation of Snow Globe Wonderland. Like you guys, I can't wait for you guys to see it. So yeah, Miracles is still in productions, and once I get done with that, it will also represent my final farewell to Christianity. So it's so much more emotional than the actual music video, trust me. So, what helped me discover this path on how I'm choosing to choose a different religion than the one I grew up with is all thanks to New Year's Eve, where I was supposed to go to a church, all thanks to my parents. Like, it's strange how, even though I am a legal adult, I still have to go everywhere my parents have to tell me to. Plus, I can't drive. Like, I didn't want to go to the church, no offense, but like, I had to just for the New Year's Eve, plus it was Sunday. And so during the entire service, it was like the feeling that, like, as an adult, like, since, like, even when I was a kid, I didn't really feel comfortable at churches, which I thought it was normal since I was a kid, of course. I was an autistic kid, so that just makes it even more of a stressful activity. But, like, even as an adult, I still get overwhelmed by some of the loud noises. Like, even when I try doing my trick, I don't know if you guys know that whenever I yawn like this, okay, yeah, my ears are unplugged, and then I go like that. It usually sounds some of the noises, but whenever I try doing that, it didn't really do anything for me. And like the music was still so loud. So not only was I trying to swallow down my yawns, but I also was trying like forced to behave in the services and also have like kind of uncomfortable. Like, I find the take that the devil, like, I still feel uncomfortable saying that phrase of the devil being in 2023. Like, that makes no sense. I'm sorry. And like people shouting all those phrases is, like, I was just born into this religion, and plus we can all transition in our lives, I guess. Like, I'm trying my hardest not to be insensitive since it's just me. So yeah, it wasn't until that day where I realized that I still didn't feel comfortable in church services, even as an adult. Like, it was from that day where it was like official that I was supposed to do it. Like even back, like, okay, I'm sorry, I'm like lost in words again. Like, even like earlier in this channel, I was trying to force myself to look into Christianity, and like even in my description, I mentioned God. Like, and it was mostly when I was feeling like down since I didn't know who else to look up to, since my family doesn't know about this channel, and so I just look up to, the only religion that I knew of, and it was Christianity. And so, like, earlier on this channel, I looked up to God. So, but now, like, when I realized that when I'm at church as an adult, I still don't feel comfortable, it was like at that day where I knew that this religion wasn't for me. Personally, it wasn't for me, and I was forcing it early on this channel, and now as an adult, I realized that the religion that I was born with just wasn't the one for me. So that's when I tried to look into a different religion where I feel most comfortable and most calm in. And so, like, if you haven't read the title, like, you guys already know I chose Buddhism. Oh yeah, even at the start where I say Namaste Britistorítellies. And what at first started this is in my senior year, I had to choose a self-improvement book, and I chose The Wisdom and Insecurities, which is a Buddhism book. The first time I learned about Buddhism. And I still have the book in my room since I forgot to turn it since I paid for the book on Amazon. And like for extra credit, you have to like get the copy of the book and send it back to class. But I missed the deadline, so I kept the book, and I'm so glad I still kept it. And I'm even trying to reread reread the book today. And like I still remember like in one of the journals where like you have to write, any of the questions for the self-improvement books. like, you have those journals. And so when I wrote how, reading this book, like reading with some insecurities, like the message inspired me to, like, at the time I was working on Escape the Story of Lighthouse Village, which I am still working on that. Oh my god, what was that? I was gonna get it published soon, but I don't know how to publish a book still, so that's like still in the void of my many story ideas. And so I made one of the main characters, Algie, my favorite. If you guys don't know, I probably mentioned this so many times when I was discussing Escape at that time, that I made Algie a Buddhist, since like it was a kind of coincidence, since I also made her a Thai descent. And so it made sense that she'll be a Buddhist. And so during her time at Lighthouse Village, she celebrates Dharma Day with the rest of the community, since she gets homesick, since she just moved from Thailand to the United States. And so the village, like everyone in Lighthouse Village, like they set up this place where she could celebrate Dharma Day with the rest of them and do all kinds of crafts and stuff. I'm still trying to learn about the religion. And so it will be so heartwarming and also so diverse and open-mindedness. Like mindfulness is another thing that I still learn about Buddhism. And my teacher got impressed that I insert the religion that I wasn't really familiar with at the time and insert towards a character that from one of my stories. Another thing that got me a head start, like it was an extremely head start of learning about Buddhism, is my philosophy of life course that I took last semester, where I get to learn about the story of Siddhartha, which was a required reading course that I took a few notes on. And so that was just like a head start of me learning about Buddhism that early before I knew that it was gonna be my thing. And when looking back at Siddhartha's story even today, remember that time where, like, it was a coincidence that the only time that I mentioned that I was thinking of a story, in the void called Namjai was in, the video where I thought I had ADHD. That was when I realized that I accidentally whipped off the story of Siddhartha and put it in Namjai. Like, I accidentally whipped off Siddhartha. And I didn't even knew this until now. Since just to clear things too, if you don't know, both my story of Namjai and whoever the writer, I forgot, I'm sorry, whoever was Siddhartha, like both those stories focus on a person in royalty, since Siddhartha is a prince and Namjai is a princess who wants to see more of the life, and so they both move out of the palace and go to a more rural place in their world, in their country. I'm not sure if Siddhartha still takes place in a village like Namjai does. And just to see how those people experience the world in themselves and just to find themselves in poverty. Like both stories follow that witches to wax storyline. But thank goodness I knew that. I accidentally looked up the story of Siddhartha and put it in Namjai. So I'll try to make it as different as possible. Like one of the differences from the start is that Siddhartha was an Indian prince, while Namjai is a Thai princess. So you see, it's not a total whip off from the before. Like before, I knew I accidentally whipped it off. They're both from different countries, and like Namjai, I hope she follows more of an excessive storyline compared to Siddhartha. I mean, I will mention Siddhartha's in Namjai, since they're both Buddhists, of course, and so maybe Namjai can look up to Siddhartha and his story. So it won't be a total rip-off, since I'm mentioning from the original source that I didn't know I copied off. And so to basically sum it up, it wasn't at all that painful experience that I felt during church on New Year's Eve, where I discovered to adapt to the religion that I feel most comfortable in, and that will help me grow a lot. And like learning about Buddhism today helped me a lot, and learning about the type of wisdom and mindfulness and the lessons to be taught and the models. Like even download an app that shows like models, and I love most of them, all of them, but I heard certain ones that inspire me the most. And the fact that Buddhism isn't a religion that has you praise for any gods at all, and it's mostly focusing on bettering yourself through meditations and detaching yourself from and just to be stuck in your own little world and work on your minds and thoughts, which sounds so much like me. Like, if you guys know me in real life and aren't those shallow people who are like, oh, I hate British stories. No offense, you got. Plus, small people know it's pronounced as Britistorítellies, which I learned from the Greek. Then I'm just the type to be independent and just to be trapped inside my own little world that I have living inside my mind. Why do you think I have all these stories? As well as just detaching myself from the real world. And also recognizing the suffering and figuring a way to end it through peaceful acts. Like, that just sounds like something that will better me instead of causing so much overwhelmingness. And there are no loud organ sounds or any instruments, any gospel instruments like thumping and beating at my entire body. Like, everything in Buddhism is just so soothing, and I like, even today I love listening to the music whenever I just want to chill out. But one of the things that worried me at first, next to the fact that so far I still haven't told my family yet that I'm changing religions, is that at first I was afraid that being a Buddhist, that Buddhism has to do with that you can't be a Buddhism unless you're a certain race or ethnicity, such as Asian. Like, if you're not Asian, then you can't be a Buddhist. But I was wrong about that when I looked up, like, specifically like African American, but also American, or just anywhere outside of Asia. Like, I looked it up online, and I was so happy when I found out that everyone can be a Buddhist, no matter your race or ethnicity. As I found out, there are many Black African American. Actually, what's the difference, anyways? I mean, the difference technically is that Black can refer to Jamaican, and I'm getting off topic again. But yeah, I was so glad to find out that no matter what your race or ethnicity is, everyone can be a Buddhist if they choose to be, which I do choose to be. So while I do love learning about Buddhism and looking through the certain holidays and certain beliefs, such as the triple gems, like, I'm still learning about Buddhism today. Like, my discovery is still not complete, you guys. Like, one of the hardest things that I probably have to do is to tell my parents that I've changed religions, but at the same time, do I really have to tell my parents? And technically, I am an adult, and I can identify as anything I want, but I mean, they're still family, and yeah, I haven't told my family yet. I'm still keeping it to myself, and the first people that I'm telling it to is the sister who hates me, or some people who hates me if they know about the past. You guys. Like, I'm still super nervous to tell my parents. Like, trust me when I say giving up Easter and Christmas is not a big deal, even though, when it comes to Christmas songs, I can't give up on those. I'm sorry. I can give up on, Easter and Christmas as holidays in real life, but the Christmas songs, I can never get rid of the catchiest ones. But overall, please wish me luck on discovering this new path that I've discovered within myself. Since, even as an adult, I'm still developing, and I'm still going off for it. I'm just developing slower than others. And it's not because I'm autistic. It's just something that okay, yeah, it's sad, but also because, okay, yeah, it's probably just that, since, I mean, everyone moves at a different pace in life, and this is just me still finding myself. And I guess when learning about Buddhism ever since my senior year, I've been progressing into loving the traditions and finding flying lanterns so magical. I don't know how I'm gonna break it up to my parents or my family as whole, since they're highly Christianity. I already mentioned this, but it's gotta think the devil's hot to hate. Why? My God, no wonder I moved on to a different religion, because I was so insensitive with the one that I was born with. Oops, and you probably heard me wrong when I said that word. I meant, oh gosh. I said gosh, you guys. You see, I'm You see, I'm not fully transformed, especially since I'm still working on my Christmas special, the last Christmas special. So I'm not a full Buddhist just yet. I'm still developing, like, it's not official, this is just the start of it. So I'm not a full Buddhist yet. I'm not fully out of Christianity. Again, this is like baby steps, you guys. And just wish me luck when I tell my parents soon. I don't know when, but it'll probably be... Now I'll probably like hold it off until I go up to Nirvana and be enlightened within the world I'm living in. Be in the full act of enlightenment when I'm up there, full of Dharma. You see? And once again, wish me luck and goodbye. Stay in tune for miracles, the final farewell of my Christianity, and wish me luck on discovering this new path of my life. Goodbye.